So when GEPRC introduced the CineLog30 last year, it was an instant hit. It was a powerful, inexpensive, very capable CineWhoop. So what did GEPRC do? They turned it up a notch and reintroduced the CineLog30, very similar to the CineLog25, but just a little bit larger with greater performance and longer flight times. So let's open this box and see what's in here. Just one tamper-proof seal. And as you can see, in typical GEPRC fashion, they have the drone in a wrap here. First thing I see here is a Caddx OSD menu board, very common. And here you go, here's the main star here. This is the CineLog30. And I can tell right now this thing looks amazing. So let's put this to the side right here. What else do we have? We have some straps, some screws, looks like some antenna tubes, some propellers, and pretty cool. It's red propellers. Looks like candy apple red, no big deal there, but it's cool that they added spares here. And some propeller guards. So pretty cool, some propeller guards. I guess they've done some testing. And obviously these are probably the most likely thing to break on the drone, and they did include some extras. And then we have some bumpers here. So I like the whole scheme here. You have some red and a gray one. And we also have a red and gray on the drone here. Now the CineLog30 was a nice looking drone, very well built, but it was all black with some white lettering on there. So this looks a little bit more attractive. I have an RXSR receiver in here. They do offer this in TBS Crossfire and also in the digital version, which is the DJI system. So you can get that as well. All right, here's the drone right here. And as I said before, it's wrapped up in some protective plastic, which is pretty good, guys. Keep the drone safe in case it gets any kind of water en route from the factory to your destination. All right, get that to the side. Just looking at this thing, really nice. There's carbon fiber everywhere. It's a very attractive drone, guys. You have your wire here for your naked GoPro or SMO 4K. Besides that, you have your antennas back here. This is an analog, obviously. You have your, this looks like a, wow, this looks pretty close. You have your plug here for your battery. It's an XT30 connection. I remember the CineLog30 was a 5-bladed propeller. Hopefully this performs well. GEPRC is saying that this thing was made to be a little bit quieter and have more performance. Obviously with the bigger propellers, you will get more performance out of this. Besides that, you have the battery strap already attached here, pretty good. So on the front here, you have the camera right here, pretty nice adjustable camera here. You have the Caddx Rotel V2. This is a really good camera. I've used this before on actually other GEPRC products, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But that yields a really good image, especially for analog. So I'm glad to see that on this drone right here. Obviously, if you get the digital version, you're gonna have the Caddx Polar camera on here, which is a new camera on the market for the digital system, and it's really good. It's a starlight camera, really good for low light situations, and you can probably fly that drone in complete darkness. So that's a pretty good camera, and hopefully I'll be testing that in the near future. The cool thing here, which is similar to what they learned on the CineLog25, the whole camera system here is damped with these little balls on here, and it is on here for both the actual FPV camera and also the camera that you're recording your flight with. The CineLog25 had a really good reputation for taking vibrations and jello out of their image. I'm expecting the same performance from this drone as well. The motors, this is the same motors as the Smart35. In fact, most of the powertrain, if you want to call it a powertrain, most of the powertrain in this drone is identical to the Smart35 that I have here. I did a review on this one as well. This is an acro drone, freestyle drone. This thing is amazing, guys. Same camera, same motors. These are the 1404 motors. Same flight controller, same VTX, and this thing works. All the internals of this drone is now packed into this thing right here. So you have an F4 flight controller on this drone. I really can't see it, but it looks very similar to the Smart35, and 35 amp ESC. So it should perform very similar to the Smart35 as far as thrust and stuff like that. And this drone here is very light, guys. Now GEPRC is advertising this to be an under 250 gram drone once you have the battery and the action camera on here. They're actually using a 660 milliamp hour battery. They're expecting around 7.5 to 8 minutes of flight time. Now, that's really impressive. I'm sure that's just cruise flying a straight line, no real aggressive maneuvers. But 7.5 to 8 minutes is really, really impressive, guys. I'll test that out. Hopefully we can get that. I have a 650 milliamp hour and also an 850, which is a little bit larger. And we'll see if we can get hopefully more than 6 minutes of flight time, guys. Besides that, you have this plate on the here, which is good. That's a 2mm. The top plate is 2mm as well. And then the back here, you have a right-hand circular polarized antenna, and that should be fine. The performance of the Smart 35 did yield pretty good VTX performance and good range for the drone. Now, I'm looking for the port here to access this for beta flight. Okay, so here it is. That's a pretty tight fit. Now, I want to see if they included a 90-degree bend or something in here, because it's really tucked in there under the ducts, and I don't see it. Okay, so the frame on here is the new frame by GEPRC. Obviously, it's the CL30. The CL25 was the previous frame. This is the CL30. Obviously, 30 meaning it's a 3-inch propeller or frame, proprietary or made by GEPRC. Now, the weight of this drone by itself, this is the analog version, is very, very light. This is 140 grams. So if you want to check the weight of your battery and your action camera, this should yield with the 660 milliamp hour, this should yield under 250 grams. GEPRC does have a comparison chart of the CineLog30 versus the CineLog25, and they did that intentionally just so that you can compare the two. Obviously, they want you to make an educated decision when buying this drone, but obviously the specs are obviously better for the CineLog30. This thing seems to be built correctly, and honestly, guys, nothing was wrong with the CineLog25. If you can get it for a good price, it might be good, only because these drones are both advertised to carry naked GoPro or naked action cameras. So if they said that this thing here, the CineLog30 can carry a full-size GoPro and the CineLog25 can carry only a naked GoPro, then you might have a more, decision to be made there. All right, guys, so what do you think about this drone, guys? Let me know in the comments if this thing here is worth the price. The build looks pretty good. I'm excited to see how this thing flies. I'll be doing a setup and first flight video here right now. So if you want to see that video, please consider subscribing so you'll be notified whenever I do drop that video, guys. And I also have some other drones on the channel, so take a look at that. Let me know what you think. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. CineLog30. What? By GEPRC. Oopsie. Not only did it produce smooth images, it also was capable of doing I have an FR Sky RXX. Now today we are taking a look at this. Okay.